Good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and I want to thank all of you for taking some time to be with us on the call today. We've got a really exciting topic. Today we're going to be talking about the single premium life insurance space. And, I talked about this extensively at our Life and Annuity Academy that we had a couple of weeks ago, but there's a huge opportunity in this space, and I think there's a lot of things going on in the marketplace right now that really supports looking at single premium life as a very effective wealth transfer vehicle and an asset repositioning tool. So before getting into that, I did want to spend a little bit of time talking about some of the additional ways that IAMS is here to help support your business. First up is our new producer builders. As you can see there, we've got a variety of different point totals on there. And this is really our way to meet you where you're at and help you to get to where you want to be. And so as you produce business with IAMS, what you'll see is that there's a variety of different things that you can qualify for, whether it's cash, trips, leads, seminars, you name it. And so what I would encourage you to do is if you've got questions on that, reach out, talk to one of your sales directors over here. They're certainly available to answer any questions that you have and talk to you about how you can participate in that program. In addition to that, what I would tell you is if you're doing something that's working well for you right now, reach out and talk to a sales director about it. One of the, I think, core pillars of who we are is customization of services and helping to support our advisors in whatever way they need. In addition to that, we've got our IAMS business builders. First up is our referred producer program. So if you're currently working with us and you know an advisor that you think might be a fit for what we're doing, or you think we've got a program that might be a fit for them, send them our way. Not only will you get a $50 bonus when they get contracted, you'll get an additional $100 bonus when they place their first piece of business, and then on an ongoing basis, as you can see, we've got the breakdown there, you'll get additional revenue off of their business. You don't have to do anything. We'll take care of all the service and support for that advisor, but it's a great way to increase your revenue flow of your business. In addition to that, we've got our marketing reimbursement program. Again, this is a great way for IAMS to partner with your business and help double the size of your marketing budget. And so you can see there that you get $100 for every 100,000 of qualifying index annuity premium and $200 for every 100,000 of SPL, and then $200 for every 10,000 of target life premium. In addition to that, I'd have to highlight our back office support. I think a lot of us took for granted having a good team at your IMO for a number of years, and I think COVID's really put a spotlight on back office support as we've seen a lot of the carriers, you get a little backlogged, having staff work remote, et cetera. I think it really puts a spotlight on having a good team of people at your IMO, whether it's at the beginning with sales support and illustrations and quotes to getting business pushed through in a timely manner, making sure commissions go paid, all of that. And so I would encourage you, if you haven't tried our back office support yet, you definitely need to. In addition to that, did want to mention Firelight. We incorporate a lot of technology into what we do over here. And so the ability to do e-applications right off of the IAMS website, you can see here, which actually, if you want this piece, reach out and talk to a sales director, but it's a good breakdown of the carriers that we work with, integrate with that. But it makes it a lot easier, especially whether you're doing business face-to-face or virtually, but you can do that right off of our website. In addition to that, we've got our creative marketing solutions. And one of the things that I would tell you is I think creative really is the key. As many of you have seen over the course of the last couple of years, it's not easy to just do one thing from a marketing standpoint. You need to have multiple spokes in your marketing wheel. And so we've got, I believe, one of the best creative teams out there. So no matter where you're at in your business, they can help generate prospects for you. And one of the ways that we do that is with our custom marketing analysis process. So we'll actually sit down with you and go through what your goals are, what your target market is, what does the business look like right now, how are you currently marketing, and then what are some ideas and things that we think might make the most sense to help generate a more consistent flow of prospects. And so if that's an area of interest for you, certainly feel free to reach out and talk to one of the sales directors over here. In addition to that, we've got our IMS website. I'd mentioned technology earlier. It is a huge resource. So not only can you run life quotes and annuity quotes on there, but you can download applications, you can do e-applications. We've got a lot of good industry news, as well as articles that we post on there. We've also got our sales resource library, which is literally hundreds of different pieces that you can use for training or point of sale with consumers. And it covers a range of topics, everything from basics like, how does an annuity work, or how does life insurance work, to premium finance, split dollar, and everything in between. And so a great resource for advisors if you're looking for something that you can use to explain a simple or a complex topic to a prospect. In addition to that, one of the things that we've seen is the need for simple and straightforward presentations, and Retirement Analyzer is a great software platform that we use. It answers that question. Most retirees, their biggest fear is outliving income in retirement. And so what this software does is really acts like a crystal ball. And so if you're going to run out of money in retirement, when would you rather know? Now, or when it's too late to do anything about it? And the software allows you to put their assets in, look at what they want retirement to look like, and show them, how long that income is going to run out, and then how to reposition assets to make sure that they never outlive their income in retirement. And this is actually a software platform that you can get access to absolutely free through IMS. You just need to reach out and talk to one of the sales directors over here, and they can help you with that and answer any questions that you might have on it. In addition to this, and I was just actually talking to an advisor this morning who just passed a 65 exam, but for those of you that don't know, IMS set up a few years ago, IMS Wealth Management, it's our RA platform. And what I would tell you is right now is a great time. If this is something that you've been thinking about, if you've been thinking about adding AUM as a piece of your business, Charles and his team do an amazing job. And there's really never been a better time to look at getting into this space and adding this into your mix of offerings. And so I would encourage you, if you've got questions on that or have interest, reach out to Charles and his team, talk to Duncan, Zach. They can answer any questions that you might have and really do an amazing job with the advisors they work with. In addition to that, we did announce earlier this year our Top Producer Summit. It is going to be a Mediterranean cruise, as you can see there. It's going to be late August next year, and we're going to be working our way around the boot of Italy. And so we were really excited to be able to announce this. We like face-to-face time with our advisors. We like to get together, and so we were really excited to be able to announce this. And there's plenty of time for qualification. Qualification actually runs through June 30th of next year. And you can see there, it's 4.5 million points. But reach out if you're interested in that, if you want to know more about it, reach out, talk to one of our sales directors, and they can answer any questions that you have on it. But it really is going to be an experience of a lifetime, and really excited to be able to get together and put this together for our advisors. In addition to that, we've got our Escape to Paradise trip coming up in March in partnership with Athene. And so as you can see there, it's going to be a very nice event. We actually just announced here recently double production credits on your Athene production to qualify for that. So normally it'd be 2 million by the end of December 31st, but right now we have a promotion going where you get double production credits for every dollar of Athene premium that you submit for it. But it's going to be a very nice, relaxing event: golf, leisure, travel, you name it. And so if you've got questions on that, certainly feel free to reach out and talk to one of the sales directors over here. In addition to that, as I'd mentioned, we actually just did Life and Annuity Academy a couple of weeks ago. It's a great event. It's a great opportunity to learn sales concepts, learn product information, marketing ideas, etc. And I think it's nice to get around other agents and advisors and learn from them as well. And so if you've got interest in that, we are working on scheduling those next events. Reach out, ask a sales director about it, and they can chat with you about it a little bit as well. And so with that, I'm going to launch our first poll, and I'm going to I'm going to get this over to our guest speakers. So one second here. And actually, Dan, Jim, which one do you want to have present their screen?
Yeah. Dan, please.
Okay, 1 second here. Let me get this swapped over. All right. So while they're getting their presentation teed up, so we've got Dan Gallina and Jim Ryan with National Western with us today. As I mentioned, the single premium life space has been growing significantly. There is the largest generational transfer of wealth that we're in, and it's going to continue to be the case for a number of years to come. And I think there's a huge opportunity in that space. It's simple, straightforward, easy to position single premium life insurance. And right now, when you look at the current environment, one of the big challenges that we have is legislative risks. In fact, I think it's one of the biggest risks in retirement that we don't spend enough time talking about, which is Congress's ability to modify and change the way that we pay taxes. And it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. I mean, look no further than last year with the Secure Act and the elimination of the stretch IRA. That was a tool that a lot of agents and advisors used. And so the need for products and vehicles that can transfer wealth in a tax efficient manner, I think is at an all-time high. And I think it's going to continue to be the case. I realize Congress is going back and forth on what this new spending package is going to look like and what tax increases are going to be included. But in an environment where we know taxes are going to go up, the ability to offer tax-free benefits, I think is critically important. So with that, Dan, Jim, we appreciate you guys being on the call with us today, and I'll hand it over to you.
Great. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Ryan. I head up the sales team for National Western Life. And on behalf of National Western and our great partners at IAMS, welcome to this call this morning. I appreciate it, Curtis, and thank you very much for the intro. Many of you know National Western Life. You've been part of National Western Life's growth over the past now 50 years plus, and we're changing, and we're changing around the marketplace, and we're really excited about that. So some of the things that you'll be seeing from National Western Life are products that are much more contemporary and fit really well into your planning practice, whether you are an IAR or whether you are a traditional advisor or agent. One of the things that we're going to talk about today, and Dan Gallina is here with us, he's our regional sales director from the Northeast, is our single premium life product. And at National Western, we understand that we could be a jack of all trades and be able to offer a wide variety of products and really have nothing really special in that menu. But we focus on what we do best, and our LTRS product is by far the best single premium life product on the marketplace. It's easy to use, it's easy to understand, and the benefits, especially now when there's so much cash on the sidelines not being utilized in an overall retirement plan, it's a critical element for you to be talking about with your customers. And so what I will offer today from National Western is that you will always find us with top ratings. Our alert score, our risk-based capital ratios are top of the market, and our stability is extremely strong. So we have a great reputation as being a partner, not only to you and IAMS, but also to your clients. And so I'm going to hand it over to Dan now, and Dan's going to walk us through some really compelling points around why it's important to fold in single premium life into your conversations with your clients. So Dan?
Thank you very much, Jim, and good morning, everyone. I'll echo Jim's comments. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to listen to our presentation today about Lifetime Return Select, National Western Life's best-selling product. I'm going to do three things today. I really want to open up with just a quick scenario just to give you a taste of where Lifetime Return Select can benefit your clients. Go through the bullet points and kind of touch on all the nuts and bolts of the product. And then I want to close what I'll call with 2 yellow pad sales ideas that you'll be able to use with your clients today. And so let's start off by talking about where is Lifetime Return Select being positioned. And I think, in my years of offering single premium life, one thing has always stood out, is single premium life has been the benefit of wealth transfer. And it's really those dollars that a client does not plan to use, that they know are going to go to their kids or their grandkids, and the ability to pass on more dollars and pass it on tax-free. So, one of the things that I've heard from top advisors through the years is using buzzwords like, do you plan to leave this money to your kids taxable or tax-free? And knowing that most of our clients will kind of light up and say, well, how could I leave it to them tax-free? And step into that. But as Jim mentioned as well, we've got a tremendous amount of money sitting on the sidelines. And a lot of clients will look at CD and other bank products as a safe spot for holding those dollars that they know they're going to pass on. In their eyes, they know that they're going to get some type of return. It's protected by the bank. They can see a statement every quarter or every year, and they know those dollars are there and principal protected. And if they need it, they have access to it. But in the end, a lot of clients will get to the point in their life where they have what I'll call 3 pockets of money. The money they'll use daily or monthly, the emergency funds. If something should happen, I've got this pool of money. But at some point, they'll say, there's this chunk of money that I probably won't spend. I'll want it if I need it, but most likely it's going to go to our kids or my grandkids. And that's where really lifetime return select can be a benefit. So with that, let's take a look at the product. We'll talk today about the guaranteed death benefit, which I'll tell you right now, the guaranteed death benefit upon approval is to age 121. I'll walk you through the simplified underwriting process. We'll talk about the accelerated death benefit for chronic illness, talk about free withdrawal opportunities, as well as one of the key features, return of premium. Some of the highlights, the policy does issue from 45 to 85. When you take a look at the premium classes, again, being a simplified product, you only have to be concerned of whether or not the client is male, female, or a tobacco or non-tobacco user. There's nothing else to consider. There's no premium, standard, substandard. Male, female, tobacco, non-tobacco is all you have to be concerned about. Minimum face amount is $25,000, and I'll repeat that again. Minimum face amount is $25,000. I do come across quite a few advisors to say, "Oh, my client didn't have $25,000 in premium, so I couldn't sell the product." It's $25,000 is the minimum face amount. So think of a 70-year-old female. She might only have to put in, let's say, $14,000, and she'll get a $25,000 face amount. It does have a surrender schedule, which really doesn't come into play, but in full disclosure, for a client that is age 45 to 70, there is a 14-year surrender period. 71 to 80 is 12 years, and 81 to 85 is 11 years. But as we'll talk in a moment about return of premium, that doesn't really come into play. And most of our advisors, when presenting this product to their clients, will be under the understanding that this money is for the plan of passing those dollars on. We're not looking to move this to get a better interest rate or another feature. This is the product that we're buying for that purpose. Because it is an IUL, there is the potential for cash value growth. And with that, if a client has enough cash value and growth, they do have the potential for that guaranteed death benefit to grow. So my client might be 60 years old, buy this policy, and I'm just going to make up numbers, by age 70 have a face amount that's above their guaranteed amount. That will be their new death benefit. So because of the IUL and the cash value growth, we can see growth of the death benefit as well. As far as the index strategies that are available, we have a monthly average currently with a 25% par rate, the monthly point-to-point with a 3.5% cap, and the annual point-to-point currently at a 10% cap. And the fixed option at 3.4%, which I have to say is attracting a lot of interest in my recent conversations, considering where interest rates are at banks and CDs and savings accounts and money market accounts. To be able just to say to your client, I'm going to move you to this product that's going to get you over 3%, is a home run already without even having to talk about any of the index strategies. And the performance of this has been very good over the last few years. And actually through its history, we've had great performance on this. And one thing to point out is that renewals on the index strategy are on current rates. So whatever the current rate that National Western Life is offering, that would be the renewal if we were to make a change on the index strategy, caps and pars, at your anniversary. So whatever the current rate is, that's what your client will get. Additionally, because you have this cash value growth, National Western Life does allow you to take a 10% free withdrawal starting the second year with no surrender charges. So, thinking about clients putting their money in here and saying, well, what if I need some money? Well, you have access to 10% each year to take out from your cash value. Let's talk about some of the included benefits in optional riders next. Included riders will be the accelerated death benefit for terminal illness, and we'll talk about the return of premium rider as well. So for a client that is deemed that they're going to pass within the next 12 months, they can accelerate up to 75% of the current death benefit, or $250,000, whichever is less, to use in their final days to however they need to cover their daily living and medical care. But one of the key features that is sounds loudly amongst advisors when I talk to them about this product is this here, is the return of premium. It really answers the what if. I know we all have clients that say, what if I need my money back? What if I need to replace the roof? What if this isn't the product for me? No waiting period. From day one, from contract issue, the client can get their money back at no cost, no surrender charges. I put in $100,000, and a week from now, I say this is not the product for me. I will get my $100,000 back. So this gives the client really the ability to sleep at night knowing that there's really no risk to their dollars. They can get them back at any time. And just to put you at ease, we have a very, 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 very small percentage of clients that generate return of premium. But I do have to offer the one caveat to this is there is a chargeback on commission on return of premium. It's 100% in the first year, 75% in the second year, and 50% in the third year. So if your client does elect to need all their money back, there will be a chargeback on commissions. Let's talk about the optional rider, which is the accelerated death benefit for chronic illness. And this is a great feature added onto this policy. We think about the cost of traditional long-term care right now and reluctance from many clients to even look at buying long-term care. As we know, some of them don't even want to recognize at any point in their life they'll get ill. But knowing that about 76% of the population at some point will have a long-term care, or what I'll call an unexpected healthcare event, could be just in the home and they need some extra healthcare. This product will allow for an acceleration of the death benefit. If your client can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, they will have access to 24% of the current death benefit, and they can take it 2 ways. They can take a 24% lump sum, or they can take 2% monthly. This they can use for any means they want. And going back to my days of long-term care, one story that always sticks in my mind is the clients that are at home but don't have the ability to take care of all their needs. So think about the daughter or the son that comes by on a weekly basis to go food shopping for mom, or drive her to the doctor, or drive her to the store, and she decides that she wants to use some of her accelerated death benefit to help pay the kids for their services, to help them out with their costs and their time. You can do that. You can use these dollars for whatever you would like. You're not sending any receipts to National Western Life, who will just pass the money on, and they can use it as they wish. Be home care, facility care, however their needs may meet. Let's move next and talk about the simplified underwriting. And this truly is simplified. It's going to start with our pre-screening question. And it's 12 knockout questions that the client will go through that are yes or no. And whether you're using a paper app or e-app, both of them will be, I would suggest using it first. If your client answers yes to any of the pre-screening questions, you know at that point that the client will not be approved and there's no need to proceed. So you haven't even gone through the application process. You already know the client will not be approved. But the benefit is if your client says no to all of them and we proceed then to the application, know that there's about an 89% approval rate just by answering the pre-screening questions and answering no, because we've already knocked out the majority of those that we don't fit within our underwriting rules. Once we get through the pre-screening questions, we'll then complete the application, and I will let you know it's a pretty short application, so nothing long and endurance needed for this. And majority of the application is the knockout question. So I would suggest that if you are open to using eApp, to use the eApp, because once you complete the knockout questions to the eApp, it automatically filters into the application. You won't have to go through those questions again. Upon the end of the application and all the HIPAA forms that you'll sign, you'll then go to a short phone interview with our third party called ESP. And that is where you and the client will get on a call with them. They'll ask some questions of you first about the client. Then your client will get on the phone, answer some general questions, height, weight, what type of medications they take, and then in that time, we'll also be looking up the MIB and the prescription background check. And at the end of the call, you will be back on the phone. And at that time, you will know whether or not your client has been approved or declined right there on the spot. No need to send anything else to National Western Life, no further underwriting. You will know at that point, and then you will submit the application along with funding, whether it is a check or a 1035 for processing, and then the policy will be issued. So you can see very, very simplified for a lot of advisors that I work with that have done this a few times. They feel that the start to end is about 30 minutes to get this all completed. So as we opened up the presentation, or I opened up the presentation, I talked about the wealth transfer, the passing on dollars to your kids, your grandkids, and that's really where the bulk of our sales come from. Again, it's the opportunity to say, do you want to pass these dollars on taxable or tax-free? But more importantly, would you like to pass on more money? And two ways we can look at that is through a couple of case studies. First, we'll look at Debbie, who is a CD owner, 64-year-old female, non-tobacco. She'd like to build a legacy for her grandkids. She has $65,000 after tax in a CD, and we can offer a lifetime return select with the chronic illness benefit rider. From the start, upon her being approved, we can guarantee her a death benefit to 121. We can give her access through withdrawals, and we can pass on the death benefit to her grandkids tax-free. But the yellow pad sales ID you can use in this example would really be a side-by-side comparison. And this could be for a CD, it could be a money market, a savings account, wherever that safe money is, but we can go side by side and see the benefits. So in this case, we'll take a look at a CD. If Debbie was to go down to the local bank and put $65,000 into the CD, well, her death benefit would be $65,000 plus, whatever interest she has, but basically $65,000 based on today's interest rates. If she was to have that unexpected healthcare event, the most she would have, again, of those dollars would be $65,000. And if she does pass it on to her grandkids, there's an opportunity that they'll pay taxes on those dollars. Now, when we present lifetime return select to Debbie, we can say, okay, your funds are $65,000. From day one, upon approval, you're going to have a death benefit that would go to your heirs for $112,626. And here's where I love the next step of the presentation. And now you can say to Debbie, if she was your client, how long would it take for your $65,000 to grow to $112,000 based on the interest rate you're getting? Very strong story at that point, because most clients look at the $65,000 at the bank as principal secured, I'm earning some interest, but they don't look at it as how could I accelerate my legacy to my kids or my grandkids. So you can always know in advance and calculate how many years it'll be. It could be as much as 24 years. So Debbie, do you want to wait 24 years for your $65,000 to grow to $112,000, or I can give your grandkids the opportunity to get $112,000 today. Additionally, if she does have that unexpected healthcare event, she now has access to $100,000 of that death benefit to use however she wishes. And you'll see the difference there is 12,500, and that would be the limit. So after she was take out all her withdrawals, the minimum face amount that could be left in the policy is 12,500, and that I would consider a final expense policy at that point. And as we know, because it is life insurance, that money would pass on to her heirs tax free. So we've got this kind of the side-by-side comparison.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
Hey, this is Curtis. Hey, I really like this concept. I wanted to add just a point to support what you're talking about. One of our advisors who does a lot of SPL business, this is kind of the process that he follows. And one thing that's interesting that he does, which is slightly different, is he'll go down. Okay, so we're doing the initial fund 65,000. So Debbie, heaven forbid something happens to you, you've got 112,000 that's going to pass to your beneficiaries. If the money's in the bank, how much do your beneficiaries get? And so he's asking that question because, well, 65,000, you're right. If you go to the bank, they're not going to give you 112,000, your beneficiaries 112,000, they're going to give them 65. Now you've got 100,000 for the home health care, nursing home, whatever you want to use it for. If you go to the bank, how much are they going to give you if you have that event happen? And so it's a great way he uses that to get them to basically vocalize, well, yeah, I'm just going to get this. I'm just going to get this. I'm just going to get this. And it really, I think, stacks up in the appointment process, the benefits of and the leverage that you get off of the SPL. So didn't mean to interrupt, but he follows this presentation, and it works really well with stacking that up and getting that engagement with them.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate your extra feedback, because some clients are also visual. So, if they see the numbers, it's going to be much more impactful to them as well versus just hearing about it. So putting on the yellow pad and actually seeing the difference in numbers is also really impactful when presenting to the clients. Let me show you one more yellow pad sales idea. And I would say that in my time of offering single premium life, this is probably the one that has hit home and made the most impact. I know the side-by-side's a great storyteller, but for a lot of clients, when they think about the money that they've put aside, and I'll just use the CD again, I've got $100,000 in my CD and I roll it over every year. Maybe I go across the street, the other bank, to see if I can get a few extra basis points. But I kind of have this in my head that I've got this $100,000 CD that's going to go to my kids or grandkids. To be able to sit down with the client and say, what is that money earmarked for, and have them say, I'm most likely going to pass this on to my kids, to say, okay, we've got two options with that 100,000. We can put the 100,000 into Lifetime Return Select to maximize the legacy. And in this case, a 65-year-old male puts in 100,000. Upon approval, we'll have a death benefit of 167,504. So, Tom here, right off the bat, my client Tom, we've increased your legacy $67,000. Anything was to happen to you, tomorrow or 4 years from now, whatever it may be, your heirs going to get 167. But there's another option. Now, I know you keep talking about that you're planning on leaving the kids $100,000. What if we could solve that with Lifetime Return Select and do a reverse solve? And what we could do is put in $59,700, which would give you the $100,000 death benefit that you wanted to leave your kids or your grandkids, and now you're leaving it tax-free. But I've just given you an extra $40,000 to do with however you wish. And what I found is a lot of times clients will look at these dollars as, I can't spend it because this is for little Johnny, this is for little Mary. I can't touch that money. But if I can give you the 100,000 tax-free going to your kids, that's what your plan was, and now I've set aside 40,300 in this example for you to use however you wish, this really opens up the door for a lot of opportunities. And as an advisor, you have the chance now to talk about, have you ever wanted to take the family on a vacation, the whole family? Have you ever wanted to do something you never thought you could afford? But for you as an advisor, it gives you the opportunity now to maybe offer a second product. Maybe there's something that you wanted to present to your client that they didn't have the cash flow for, but now do. So this is a great opportunity to show the difference of option 1 or 2, from maximizing the death benefit to what I'll call cashing out and have the opportunity to do something with those dollars. So what did we talk about today? We talked about Lifetime Return Select and its guaranteed death benefit to 121. The Simplified Underwriting, which is really 3 steps, the 12 knockout questions, the application, the short phone interview, and a decision on the spot. We talked about the chronic illness or the accelerated death benefit. Client can't perform 2 of the 6 ADLs, gives them access to 24% of the death benefit to use how they wish. It is an IUL, so we have cash accumulation, but we also have free withdrawals, 10% each year starting the 2nd year. And the big selling feature for a lot of clients is the ability to know that I can get my premium back at any time from day 1. And with that, I will pass it back to Curtis.
Well, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. So I've got a couple of poll questions here that I'm going to launch here now that we're at the end of this. So let me go ahead and get the first one launched here. First question is, if you've got a case, Dan laid out a couple of different concepts. There's a lot of opportunity as far as source of funds in the SPL space. Obviously, CDs are a big opportunity. Dormant annuities. I believe the stat is what roughly 80% of the funds in annuities aren't actually going to get spent down during a client's lifetime. And so there's as we know, we're looking at an increasing tax rate environment. So that can potentially be a tax time bomb. And so taking a free withdrawal and you mentioned, Dan, it's not 25,000 minimum premium, it's 25,000 face amount is the minimum face amount, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so great opportunity there. You've got somebody who has an annuity where they don't think they're going to spend that during their lifetime, taking a free withdrawal, dumping it in. Now you've got this tax-free benefit that'll help offset the income tax when that money transfers. But whether it's CDs, money market savings accounts, dormant annuities, even existing cash value life insurance. We are talking about life insurance, and so there's a lot of old universal life policies that are out there that maybe aren't performing that great. Maybe it's an older policy that was sold in the 80s. We know what the interest rates were like back then. This product offers a guaranteed death benefit. So the ability to rescue that policy, do a 1035 exchange, get a guaranteed death benefit. You've got competitive caps. I mean, 10% on an annual point to point, as many of you know, I mean, that's a high annual point to point cap on an IUL. But to get good cash growth and a guaranteed death benefit can be very attractive. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this first poll down, and then I'm gonna launch our last poll today, which is if you've got a case, obviously National Western is somebody you want to look at. If you don't have a case necessarily right now, but you want to get contracted, go ahead and check the box yes. We'll have licensing, and one of the life sales directors follow up with you and get you active. That way you can run quotes and all of those types of things. But one question, Dan, Jim, that I had for you guys, you've got a really competitive product. Do you see yourselves making any changes here to the product as we go into the end of the year, or do you see rates holding strong and staying competitive?
We see rates holding strong for us. What you won't find at National Western from a life portfolio is a flexible premium product, a term product. We're very focused on what we do best, Curtis, and that's really our single premium product. And so we're very committed to owning that space and making sure that our rates are very competitive and that we're doing the right things for our agents and our customers and their clients.
Very good, very good. Well, and that's why we value the partnership that we have with National Western. Last thing I'll mention before we let everybody get out of here is November is right around the corner, and that is LTC Awareness Month. And so right now, if you're doing SPL or if you're thinking about getting into SPL, it is a great time because there is a ton of advertising and marketing that goes out talking about the importance of long-term care and what's going on in the marketplace. So it's a great time to be having these discussions. And also, we are going to be rolling out an LTC Awareness Month marketing package. So we'll have pre-formatted letters that you can use, emails, social media posts. We'll have a lot of concepts and ideas and guides, et cetera, in that. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be rolling that out here in a week or so. But with that, I want to thank everybody for being on the call today. And Jim and Dan, I appreciate you guys taking some time with us as well.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.